Hello, YouTube. This is an alcohol review of Canadian Mist Blended Canadian Whiskey. According to the bottle, blend known for its mellow character and smooth taste, imported from Canada, 40% alcohol by volume, 80 proof. Blended Canadian whiskey is at least 36 months old. 3 years, that's it. It's amazing. And that's about it. It's of any real importance. 750 ml bottle. Please recycle. Well, that's good of them. A little bit of water in my drinking cup here. And I'm surprised I had not reviewed Canadian Mist in the past. It's always been a favorite of mine for cocktails. A little full there, but I have to say I've never really had this neat before. So this ought to be an interesting treat. It is a nice caramel color. What the heck? With such a light nose, I almost don't smell a thing. I do get an ethanol burn out of it. I do get something there, a whiskey odor of sorts, but it's so faint. Just about get almost nothing out of it. Tears up fairly quickly on the side of the glass. Well, well, does not match the nose. Tell you that much. And now I see why I poured soda pop all over it. It is all right. You get caramel. You get a lot of burn. That bitter, alcohol flavor, I guess you could say, for lack of a better term. It has a fairly long hang time. Caramel notes. And all those fade out fairly quick. The long hang time is that ethanol, alcohol burn type thing that stays with it. Like I said, the burn as well as the flavor of what you'd expect rubbing alcohol tastes like. So I guess you could say caramel, light fruit notes, rubbing alcohol. I hate to talk, negatively about any kind of whiskey or beer or anything, because it took somebody to sit down and they tried their best to make what they felt is the best product. So you always try to look on the positive side. This is a cheaper bourbon. It has received accolades from 2013 to 2015. So you got to give them their credit for that. So it is a good bourbon, at least in 2013, 2015 it was. It still holds 10% of the Canadian market, believe it or not. But then again, knowing that this is a bottom shelf bourbon, it tastes like a bottom shelf bourbon. Now, I've had some really cheap scotches and some really expensive bourbons, and this could hold up to them. But like I said, cost is not an overwhelming factor when it comes to whether you like it or not. They did a study with beers and wines, mainly wines, over the most expensive wines versus the cheapest wines, and they found that as long as no one knew what the price tag was, it all came out about the same. This little bugger, it tastes like cheap bourbon. It's definitely something you would throw into a cocktail and not have neat under any kind of condition. Unless you're out of soda pop or fruit juice. And going to their site, they recommend things like cranberry juice and fairly strong combinations to blend with this. And I can see why. You have that ethanol, rubbing alcohol flavor that just it comes in for a little bit in the beginning, and then it just stays. So when the nice flavors of the caramel and light fruit notes and vanilla, there's a little bit of vanilla in there, goes away, you're left with rubbing alcohol. This is definitely a cocktail bourbon. It's cheap, or at least in my area. When I live in the middle of nothing, it's cheap, so you can put it into a plenty of different cocktails of all your imagination. Just make sure whatever you blend it with has a strong backbone to it, or this will just walk all over it like it's nothing there. And you don't want this tracks in your drink. Yeah, it is a nice cheap bourbon. Give it a try. See what you think. This is Canadian Mist. I know it's on the bottom shelf, but be brave. Try it in the comments down below. It would be greatly appreciated. Or better yet, go out, buy it, try it. Make a video of yourself reviewing Canadian Mist. So the rest of us on the YouTube community know your thoughts about this particular product. And until next time, keep on drinking.